guys, welcome again to the free weekly reading with me, Sarah Martucci, psychic medium and certified crystal healer, and lover of all things woo-woo, strange and weird. Welcome to my YouTube page and welcome to the free weekly reading. All right, so this is going to be ahead or for the week ahead of October the 30th through November the 5th. So I kind of wanted to cover this week since we're still in Scorpio season. We keep talking about like the weeks prior. I've said like the last two videos about like their intensity. Everything with Scorpio is intense and sexual and psychic. They're just like on full blast all the time. Even if these guys look like they don't know, they absolutely know. These guys are also very, very secretive and mysterious. There's deep, these guys have deep chambers where they keep a lot of stuff. And they kind of take in everything. These guys are super, super psychic. So they're constantly absorbing stuff from the environment, you know, absorbing information from people. They're kind of like little empaths running around, just absorbing and taking in all this information through the body. Also ruled by the planet Pluto, which rules the underworld. These guys are the natural mediums and psychics of the zodiac. You could say that about a couple of the signs, but I think Scorpio usually is the one, when everybody thinks of like the psychic, I think they usually think of Scorpio, and probably Pisces too. But yeah, these guys are deeply in tuned, not only with other people, but with themselves. And the darker stuff. But I kind of wanted to say this, and they're not afraid of the darker stuff, which I love about them. I want to kind of talk this week about the healing properties of Scorpio, and how that I hope ties into this week, and how I hope that we can kind of touch a base, essentially with those healing properties that Scorpio provides. Because if you think about it, they're known for birth, death, and rebirth. There's got to be some kind of regenerative thing going on there if you're able to die and come back. Do you feel? If you're able to die, come back, and then like, you know, rebirth yourself. So there's a big thing with regeneration here. To me, it almost feels like if you know Leo and you know the sign of Leo, this is all about, they're constantly changing their style. They're constantly evolving. For them, it's more about like the outward shell, and their strength too. There's some definitely courage and strength going on there, but they like constantly changing their look, constantly evolving, constantly, evolving into themselves. Scorpio is kind of the same way, but it's with the deeper, darker spiritual things going on deep inside. So if you find this week, that things, maybe they broke apart a couple weeks ago, or maybe stuff has just been really difficult lately. Consider this week to kind of focus on how you can regenerate yourself, how you can kind of bring a new version of you to the table. And I want to say, if you're already in that mind frame, if you're already like, oh yes, hell yeah, I'm feeling that. You've been here for a hot second. So I'm just kind of saying, I feel like the theme of the week is going to be about regeneration. And I guess a good symbol to think of would be the phoenix rising from the ashes. So something to consider this week about yourself and everything that you're going through. Maybe the theme here is to rise above and allow the old self to die off and to go away, you know? Maybe these old spiritual ideas, maybe this is about love and romance for you this week. Maybe these old ideas of how things should be and maybe what you thought that you wanted. Maybe you've taken time lately and kind of tapped in and you're like, doesn't work for you anymore. You know, like I'm not feeling, you know, whatever situation I've been in the past. I want to try something new here. So there's going to be like a regenerative property to the week where you're kind of like rebirthing yourself into something new, so that you can kind of follow that path. So don't be scared of that this week. Also too, we've got a full moon coming up on Saturday, the 4th. So, and it's going to be in the sign of Taurus. So talk about logical, practical, grounded. It's an earth sign, but it's also ruled by the planet Venus. Yay. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of love, romance, self-love. I think love is also going to be a big theme this week. So regeneration and love, rebirthing of love in your life. If you ask my opinion, you know, otherwise, why would you be here? So I'm feeling like this week is going to be about the rebirth or the regeneration, rising from the ashes of the old way of maybe loving yourself. Maybe you just figured you got new needs now and it's time to tap into those. And it's okay to be who you are now. It's okay to allow yourself to keep evolving into the person that you're still becoming. Allow the process to take place this week, and I promise you guys won't look back, okay? Bigger and better, always, always, right? All right, so let's get to the cards. All right, guys, as always, with these cards, choose one, choose two, choose all three, use your intuition here. What are you drawn to? Okay, so this is going to be card number one. And then it's going to be card number two. Yay. I have the worst time trying to center these. It's not that hard. I don't know why the struggle is so real with me. And then this is going to be number three. I just want to thank my friend Stacy for my earrings. Aren't they so funky and fly? They're from Stella and Dot. So much cuteness. I also got a really cute clutch that she gave me. I traded the earrings and clutch for reading. So I'm just saying, I'm not afraid to barter. If you guys want to do that and you offer a service, do not be afraid to get a hold of me. The answer will almost always be yes. So yeah, just let me know on that. But yes, thank you, Stacy. I love these earrings. These are super cute and super me. All right, you guys. If you pick card number one, you got... Oh, wrong one. If you pick card number one, you got the Two of Crystals, and here's your beautiful card. Woohoo! All right, Two of Crystals. So when crystals show up in a reading, what do they ask of us? Really, crystals are talking about our safety and security, our monetary things that we need physically in this world. So this is about taking a practical, methodical, grounded approach to things. It's an earth. It would be considered the earth sign here. The crystals would in this deck. So when Two of Crystals talks about, to me, this card always talks about rising above. If you notice on the card there, you'll see like all these rocks and there's all this air. It's kind of like on this plateau, and you have like this huge, beautiful sun star, whatever that is. It's beautiful at the very, very top. So there's something here about reaching a goal, trying to yeah, reach a goal, get through all like the mental bullshit and find your clarity and your direction throughout the confusion that's going on in your life. So I want to say this week, the Two of Crystals is saying, it's almost saying to you, rise above. So if something is happening to you and it's fucking with you mentally, ask for help. Look for ways that you can rise above what's going on. And it's almost like seen as an obstacle, something that you need to overcome here and to work through. The crystals are also asking you, what is your idea of safety and security? So maybe something that you want to ask yourself this week that you can focus on, so that if you're in a funky situation, you can get out of it. Once you have that clarity, you see exactly what you want going forward. It's almost like the doors swing wide open and you're able to kind of take the next steps towards your happiness and your future. But I want to say congratulations and good job. If you notice here too, I know it says the Two of Crystals, but there's three of those little, well, I guess crystal orbs going on. I want to say that this week that, yes, again, it feels like there might be movement upwards. It's got the Two of Crystals, but it got the 3 stars there. There's going to be this movement upwards. So I wouldn't be surprised this week if you get a raise in your job, if you're promoted in your job. This would be a great week to ask for either one of those things. So just make sure, as long as you're, since this is also kind of an earth-based card, make sure that you bring in with you, if you decide to ask for a raise or ask for a promotion, bring in kind of like supporting paperwork to show why you're so good for that position or why you deserve this raise. It should be enough just to say it, right? Yeah, I hear you. But I'm just saying, if you'd really like to drive it home and make it so that they can't say no, bring a pie chart of why you're so awesome. You see what I'm saying? Like, show your numbers, show everything that you've done so far, and prove to them like why you deserve this position or why you deserve this raise. So don't be afraid this week to go higher, to go better, to rise above, to keep pushing towards your goal. You're on the right path, doing the right things. Just pay a little special attention to your mental space. Make sure that you're present, that you're here, that you're focused, and that you're focused upon that your focus is upon what is your safety and security. So kind of once you find that, just a recap, once you find that, you have your direction, start making moves towards making that a reality, and you'll be good to go this week, and good job. And I kind of want to say too that you also might have 2 or 3 opportunities this week as well. To me, this card feels very career-based, money-based, like I'm just trying to live in this world and do the damn thing. Whatever your options are this week, you might actually be able to choose between 2 or 3 things. Make sure that whatever choice that you choose is taking a step upwards, not a lateral move. We want to step upwards. Let's do better here. So just keep that in mind this week. Good job, guys. All right. And if you pick card number 2, you got perspective. And here's your beautiful card. And I'm pretty sure this card was pulled last week too, and I want to say it was number 2 as well. So if you did this last week with me and you picked number 2, there's a reoccurring theme here. So perspective is really asking for, wait for it, you to focus on your perspective this week. So just pay attention to the way that you're viewing things. Is it all negative? Or are you stuck in like a negative thought pattern where like everything's shit, so why even try? Are you focused? Are you clear? Do you know what you want? This card is kind of saying that there's some haziness, there's some confusion, some things are not lining up here the way that you need them to. What I would suggest for you this week, if you're having that problem, you can't find that focus, you feel like your perspective might be off, or you might not be seeing things fully, bounce it off a trusted friend. Somebody that can be a good mirror to you, that will be able to hear what you're going through, will actually listen to you and like give you good advice. So go to that, you know who that friend is. Go to that friend. If you don't have that friend, might I suggest, and maybe you need to talk to somebody, go to a therapist, go to your parent, go to whoever you trust in the situation here. But this other person's going to help you to kind of refocus back on what is your heart saying to you. So to me, this other person that you bounce this stuff off on is really good about leading you back to yourself. Do you feel? It's not all about, I guess, like the feedback they want to give you and like, oh, my opinion is so important, I have to give you all the things. Like, this is more about bringing you back to you. So this card also kind of makes me feel that like you've been looking outside of yourself for answers too. So again, this is bringing you back that like nobody else is going to have the answer that you're looking for this week except you. And all that anybody else can do is kind of reflect that back to you or show you maybe where your focus needs to be right now. But that's only if you feel like you need that help. So just make sure this week, if you get the chance to sit down, be open and receptive to the feelings that you're feeling, the thoughts that you're receiving, the things that kind of, the synchronistic things that kind of keep popping up in your life. There's a message I want to say that's being given to you here. And if you pay attention to the world around you that's speaking to you, you'll be able to hear that message clearly. It's not an easy thing to do. I think you hear about, a lot of like, Buddha and everybody else that's enlightened talking about doing that stuff. And it takes a lifetime to really hone that craft. But if you can this week, do your very best to just be super, super observant and see what comes towards you. See what things people talk about whenever they come up to you. Pay attention to your dreams if you have any. Pay attention to any signs or symbols that show up in your world repeatedly, like repeating numbers or feathers or pennies, or do you see what I'm saying? Like, pay attention this week. Every single sign and every single thing that's being presented to you is helping you to get back to yourself and ask yourself, what do I want here, so that I can find my next steps forward. And I want to say too, with this card, what's really cool about this, it feels to me, it's almost like going to the upper, there's again this feeling of going up a level. We're moving upwards here this week. So this is about elevating your thoughts. So again, if you felt like you've been in a depressed place, make sure to take care of that. Take care of yourself and give yourself the support and the help that you need. There is no shame. Like, you guys, if I did not speak to a therapist, I would not be here today, being able to kind of help you guys and be here with you, and give feedback and all the stuff that I do. Like, I would not be able to do that work if I hadn't been brave enough, honestly, to kind of say, okay, I need extra help here. I can't do this all by myself, So don't be ashamed this week. Don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to ask for that help, even if it's just from a friend to bounce stuff off of. Trust them. And use that situation as a way to reflect back to yourself what your needs are, where you need to be, what's going on. But I want to kind of say that this week meditation might help you the most. So, because just saying with the card and like that elevated kind of feeling, like I feel like I'm going upwards into higher chambers of consciousness and like higher levels of thinking and thought. So maybe go into meditation this week, or something that helps you kind of get you out of you in this situation. So again, that you can see it from a different perspective. Just know that it's going to be a good week. And as long as you follow your heart, you're in the right place, doing the right things at the right time. Trust yourself, okay? All right, good job, you guys. Oh, also too, that's a major arcana card. So we're talking about major transformation, major evolution, major movement forward again. So this is going to be a big week for you. Don't be afraid to take notice of every little thing, because also too, sometimes they might be telling you about what to expect next as well, or the next themes that will be coming up in your life. So just pay attention this week. Be really, really observant. And take the time to tap into your environment and yourself. You're going to be okay. Good job. All right. And then the final card, I can't talk today. What the heck is my deal? The final card that you guys pulled was the Eight of Cups. And here's your beautiful card. Card number 3. Whoop, whoop. So, the Eight of Cups. There's a little bit of a sadness to this. There's a little bit of feelings of disappointment here. If you notice on the card, the girl on either side is not facing us. So there might be a little bit of difficulty this week. That kind of says to me that you might have some problems facing yourself, or facing maybe an obstacle that's happening in your life right now. Maybe it's hard to face yourself and come to terms with something that maybe just came to the front for you. Whenever cups show up in a reading, they talk about our emotions. Where are we emotionally? Are we stuck somewhere in the past that we can't do anything about? Are we freaking out about the future that we have no power over? Or are we here, present in the moment, dealing with the things that come up in the present moment and in present time, so that we can heal ourselves as needed and be there and support ourselves with whatever we need. So really, this card is a call to be present and to be here in this moment emotionally, and to pay attention and be receptive to what you are feeling, so that you know what it is exactly that you need. I want to say too, if you notice as well, this is what this card always looks like to me. So somebody else might see something different. This is just me. But I see an elephant there. If you see like the tusks and like the ears up there, and I see an elephant there. So there's this double feeling here of like, and if you see like all that rock and like the mountain right there, when that shows up in a reading, that talks to me about obstacles. But when the elephant shows up in a reading, it makes me think of Ganesh, or Ganesha. Sorry for mispronouncing it or saying it weirdly. But this is the god of like the remover of all obstacles. So I just want you to know this week, whatever you're going through emotionally, whatever is making you feel as though there's a block in your way and you're unable to see yourself clearly, or you're unable to face something here that maybe is deeply painful and deeply emotional for you, please know that you have the remover of all obstacles on your side, that this energy is working with you, and that if you choose to turn around and to face yourself and to face what's going on, you'll be able to make through this time perfectly fine. You'll be okay. This is really a card about, to me, it feels like facing your fears, facing those emotional fears that like you won't be able to handle it, or it's overwhelming, or that you're going to drown. Do you know what I mean? Like in the sorrow or in the pain. So just know this week that you have this beautiful energy on your side. You're going to be able to overcome your obstacles, but the only way to the other side of it is through it. So just make sure that you face, make sure that, yeah, if you guys need help, again, coming to terms with anything big or anything funky going on, just make sure that you have somebody there to kind of bounce this stuff off of, so that you can see yourself clearly, or get to a therapist so that you can get the help and the support that you deserve. If you notice on the card, there's 2 females on either side. It's a mirror of each other. So this whole card is kind of a mirror of each other. If you see the inverted triangles, this talks about being receptive to the energy right now. But again, being a mirror and having a mirror there for yourself, so that you can, I don't know, really face what's going on. So good job, good work. Know that everything's going to work out and that it's going to be okay. The Eight of Cups just offers this perspective too. Ooh, last thing I want to say on the card, if you notice all the water in there, this talks about your psychic gifts and abilities and your emotions. So there's something here that I feel like that's kind of building as well. Your psychic gifts and abilities, it's like, oh, it's pretty calm, that water. So this is about getting to a calm space, seeing yourself clearly, being able to reflect back to yourself what's going on, so that you can truly give yourself everything that you need emotionally in the moment, and taking care of those emotional needs. And I wouldn't be surprised too this week if you get some psychic insights, you start having intuitions or crazy dreams. Just make sure if you do that, write those things down and trust yourself trust yourself. I feel like you're going to be on point this week with your psychic abilities. So trust what comes through. Don't discount it, and allow it to be a stepping stone for you to keep moving forward. Allow it to be your next step through the obstacle that you're dealing with. Follow those little inklings and those little feelings that you get. They're guiding you somewhere important, okay? Good job, guys. All right. And then it's not really a stone this week, it's a metal. So the metal this week that I featured was copper. Okay, so the metal we featured this week is copper. I love copper. Copper is an incredible metal. So I didn't really feature a stone this week. I'm a liar. Usually I do stones, but I wanted to do a metal this week. Two-parter. Just because of the regenerative properties, for me, lined up with what Scorpio speaks about, especially this week, that I wanted to focus on those regenerative, like the idea of the phoenix, you know, regenerating yourself. Copper is one of those that's known for helping with arthritis. You see everybody, you know, with those bracelets and like the socks and the, you know, joint support stuff, all with the copper technology in there. So there's this idea that it helps with regenerating tissue, regenerating organs. It helps with arthritis and regenerating your joints there. There is also, it's saying it helps with female reproductive organs. And Scorpio rules the sexual organs. This full moon is also in the sign of Venus, which talks about, you know, being in love and finding love and sexual love too. So there's, you know, there's some big stuff moving in the cosmos this week. And I thought that we could use some help from copper to kind of be a conductor of energy. So what the stone will do, if you want to use it in conjunction with stones, it will conduct the energy there. It will help to magnify it and make it bigger. And really, if you do crystal therapy work, or if you do crystal gridding and stuff like that for manifestation work, this is oh my God, this is where it's at. Stick this in the middle of your grid and just let it amplify all that energy upwards and outwards and into the universe, to where you're trying to, you know, create what you want. Let it help you. Let it, you know, kind of boost your signal. Do you feel? That was a good way to put it. I'm glad I said that. You know, copper will help boost your signal about what it is that you're trying to bring to you. So if you need help with any of those themes, if you've got any of that stuff kind of going on for you right now, grab a chunk of copper and hold it on you. I would say, if you got like a little mojo bag, or you've got like boob stones, grab a little tumbled piece. You don't want this rough piece. This rough piece in matrix would suck. I mean, look at that. That's like jagged edges. That's going that will not leave you the same person as whenever it went in. So let's not do that. Get a tumbled piece if we're going to put it in your bra, right? Treat your ladies with respect. Or, you know, if you want to stick it in your pocket, say you're trying to bring towards you a new romantic relationship, stick it in your pocket so it's closer to, like, you know, your sexual organs and that whole area and your root chakra, so that it kind of helps amplify that area, regenerate it, cleanse and clear it, so that you're ready to go for the next relationship. Better this time. Kind of rebirthing yourself in that way and regenerating yourself in that way. So maybe you can bring more to the table this time too, you know? So yeah, if you guys need help that week, grab a chunk of copper and you're good to go. And guys, remember, this is your week. Make it an amazing one. You guys, thank you so much for letting me be here today and every single week. You guys are everything. So thank you so much. Have an awesome rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.